I just try very hard to remember and to record. Sometimes during the talk with the sun, it's just like with the moon, and sometimes after. And sometimes I don't write the question because I am the one who asks. So I just wrote the answer. If I remember, then I will tell you, I read you the question as well as the answer. But if not, you understand, yeah? Just the main point. I'm quite busy if I try to do research into the universal bodies. Now, okay, I asked them if they have any animal, people, or trees or plants like us here. They say yes, they have. Not everything, not all the things that we have here that they would have in the sun. I say, but the sun is so hot, how can you live there? They say, inside the sun, it's not hot, but outside is maybe more than 1,000 Celsius degrees, almost like 2,000 Celsius degrees. So I asked whether or not they look like us. Yes, they say they do look like humans. And whether or not some humans live there with them. They say yes, if humans wish to live with them in the sun, they could do, as long as they reach the high fourth level, the fourth level more or less. Then the sun people will come with a special vehicle, or similar to UFOs, to fetch them to go into the sun to live with them. And from then on, humans who can reach the sun thus will become like immortals. They will not die in the sun. They just go there at the age when they arrive at the sun and stay there. This is very much like the moon. By the way, I think I won't forget, I noted there. The moon also came in and told me some other things in between. If they want to, they come in, they just tell me, or I ask them to answer me something. Well, I am still talking to the sun, so it was like a three-way conversation. But they don't have animal people in the sun, eh? We talk about the sun first, and whenever the moon comes in, I tell you. They have also plants and trees and flowers, fruit trees, but they don't eat them. Right now, they have about 664 humans who live there with the sun people. So how long until they get to the fifth level? They say maybe millions of Earth years to reach the fifth level from the fourth level in the sun's area. I asked them why, when I took some photographs of them, of the sun, there are red rings, red circles, several red circles on that photo within the sun's surrounding, or within the sun itself. So the Sun King told me, because people here want to show you their love. I just wrote a few quick notes under the little, very dim light of the phone, because otherwise I will wake up. I will be too much connected with this world, and it's difficult to talk to them otherwise. And if I turn on the recorder, the big light will be on. I also will be drawn back to the earth, and our conversation will be finished. It's difficult, this job, yeah. It's different because this is a higher dimension talk. It's not like often before when I talk with God's disciples and just having all kinds of light, very bright. It's different. It's different level of talk, different connection. Before, when I was just reading books, telling you stories and that, then it's okay to have light, big and bright light on. But right now, if I want to have a higher dimensional conversation, then I can't have too much light. And only now and then I turn on the light to note something so I don't forget. It's like how many people from our planet live with the sun people in the sun. Or how many sun people live there, for example, like that. I have to write out the number or I will forget. Also, like how many Earth years until they reach the fifth level. From right now, they are the fourth level. In the sun and the moon are similar levels, fourth. But not all high fours are the same, Some are in the middle four, some between middle and the high levels of fourth. And if they pray and they request it humbly, some masters will come to teach them, because the master actually lives in the sun. The sun is not the way we see it. The inside people who live inside the sun, they're fourth level, but the outer of the sun is the word of Nam, meaning the truth. And the master lives there. It's beautiful, wonderful, exceptionally incredible. You cannot use words to describe it. Everything there is out of human imagination and comprehension. So the masters from the outer side of the sun come sometimes to the inner core of the sun to teach people there. And also, as per request and humbly begging the master, they will come also to the moon, the inner moon. Yes, the inner moon people are from the fourth level, but the outer moon is different from the outer sun. The outer moon world is invisible, and people there are at the third level, not the fourth level. The fourth level moon people, normally, I told you, they came from a place called the Peace World. It's different from Peace People World, just similar but different. So the third level people in the outer world of the moon, the outer world around the inner world, they are third level, but they are practicing very hard and they will reach the fourth. Yeah. But it doesn't mean they will go inside to live with the human look-alike residents in there. They will just stay outside, the same world of the outer moon. That is when I asked the moon, by the way, So the king of the moon answered me that. A very short one, because I was talking to the sun more. The sun is more the main subject of our conversation. The ultimate master and the soul, my soul, are the same together, one. But for the work on this planet, in the physical world, there is a necessity of a physical body and physical brain and all that. So the people in the sun, if they reach the fifth level, then the master will go there and bring them up to the master's house, to the fifth level world. And other people who did not reach the fifth level yet then continue to stay in the sun, inside the sun. Or some humans who somehow reach the fourth level, either by the blessing of a master, by their luck to have seen a master, looked into the master's eyes somehow on the street, in the field, or in the forest, in the mountain, in the sea, anywhere. Then they might reach the fourth level and then contacted the sun people. The sun people took them there, adopted them by a special kind of ceremony, special blessing also, so that they can be more used to the energy, the real fourth level energy within the sun. The same, similar in the moon. When people of this earth want to live in the moon, then they have to really reach the standard, the level, the frequency of the moon people who are native, who came from the peace world. But the sun people, they are native. They're from the sun. They didn't leave other world somewhere and come to the sun. No. Now I asked the king of the sun whether or not many people on earth, often every year, a lot of people went missing or disappeared. Is that because they went to the sun world or the moon world like that or not? He said, no, only these many hundreds of people, as he told me how many hundred people already went to the sun or the moon. The same in the moon, yeah? They tell the same. These disappeared people, either they might have died in accident somewhere that people cannot find them, or somehow have been eaten by some vicious animals who were possessed by demons or something like that. So you see the little difference between the sun and the moon. The inner sun are fourth level beings, but the outer world of the sun is the fifth level. Yeah, the real world. And only disciples of the fifth level master or of that lineage could go to the sun's outer level. outer layers, outer world. It's not the way we look at the sun, all red and hot and things like that. No. And it's wonderful, beautiful, exceptionally incredible. Yeah, if you go there, you have no words to describe. But the inner world of the moon is fourth level, but the outer world of the moon is third level, you see? Yeah, I didn't contact the inner moon before, so I thought they were all third level. Yeah, now I know there is a difference between the inside and the outside of the moon and the sun. So we can see inside the moon and inside the sun are the same, fourth level. But outside the sun is fifth level, and outside the moon, third level. Before I did not contact the moon people, so I thought the moon was all third level. Yeah. I did not check even if inside the moon there are people who live there or not. I just did it recently. Same with the sun. Okay? Normally I just say hello whenever I see the moon and the sun, and blow them kisses and send them my heartfelt love, but did not have a conversation. This time I did, and so we know a little bit more about them, and I share with you, because many of you are curious about what's in the sun and what's in the moon. Normally I just say hello whenever I see the moon and the sun, and blow them kisses and send them my heartfelt love, but did not have a conversation. This time I did, and so we know a little bit more about them, and I share with you, because many of you are curious about what is in the sun and what's in the moon. But please don't try to go in the sun, huh? Number one, your instrument, your whatever you fly with will be burned into, not even into dust, completely unseeable. So don't try, huh? Any human who has high tech and scientific knowledge and all that, don't try to go past the sun's outer layer because it's too hot. Everything will burn into smaller than dust. And also, even if you pass through that, you can't get in because they have a very secure system, just like the moon. The sun also has a secure system to avoid encounters with beings that are a disturbance to them. Disturbance doesn't mean they have to go there and shoot at them or throw a grenade or anything. Disturbance is from the energy of individuals. Now we say something a little bit more about the moon. The moon is kind of running away from us. Well, not so exaggeratedly running, but inching away from us since long ago. I asked them why they kind of fly away from us. They say because this planet's energy is too explosive, too unfriendly, too violent, too brutal, so it doesn't match with the moon's energy. So we are the ones who push them away, not that they run away from us. Yeah? The third level in the moon is not the same like the third level of the humans. Like if you are a human and you reach the third level, then you stay within the three worlds. Then the three worlds one day will be destroyed. If there's no other better energy that you create, then the three worlds will be destroyed because they're still low. And still somehow, some percentage is physical, so it can be destroyed. But the moon people's third level is different. See, they were born like that. They were created like that. So they will not be destroyed. It's different. The moon's third level is in a different environment, different energy, different frequency, because they stay outside of our world. They stay outside of the three worlds, so they will not be influenced by this law of destruction. The moon is not destroyable because they live in another system. The people in the moon, even the outer world of the moon, they are third level, but they are different, in a different system. For spiritual reasons, they are in the moon. The distraction is almost zero there. And they are just deep, deep within themselves, continuing with their spiritual journey. And the moon is a different material from the earth. It's not destructible. And these people are already in third level. They would never go down. But in this physical world, even some of my initiates, I lifted them up until even the fourth level. But for some reason, the dual mind would make them sometimes think negatively or be affected by family members, wife, husband, or children, and or job, and then they just think negatively, and they're down to the third level. They lost at least one step from the fourth level becomes third level. That is very big. Takes a long time to go up again. Difficult. So understand the difference. Yeah. And they will reach the fourth level later, even though it takes long, 1,000 years or something, yeah? Because the moon is more stable. And also within the moon, inside the moon, people are at the fourth level. So that also helps the energy to go down up to the outer level of the moon. And that helps them a lot also. So the people from this planet, if they love the moon so much and practice well somehow, for some reason, have enough merit, and reach the same level, the same frequency as the moon people there, then they can come and get you up there. But any other people cannot do that. You can't even visit the moon by an astral body. Can they? Let me ask. Oh, no, they cannot. Even if you, like a human, use an astral body to go up to the moon and visit the moon, you will not be able to go in. Because the system there is also spiritually scanning you. It's not just physical ID, but the aura. They will scan you by your aura, by your spiritual energy, by your spiritual frequency. So you can't just go there if your frequency does not match. It's not the same as the moon people, whether outer or inner. I'm saying outer of the moon, but they all have their system. It's a world, it's not just the way we look at it like that. Outer or inner, they have the world within. The inner is physical world. You can see them, they're like humans, but they're more beautiful. And the outer world, even though you don't see the world because this is a different world, it's a different frequency. So it's invisible. But still, they all have the world inside, and nobody can enter without permission or without an invitation from these moon people or sun people. So don't try, huh? Oh, actually, we talk about the moon. I would like to clarify also a little bit about the moon. When I said the moon people came from the peace world, it doesn't mean like those words that we have in our planet, like peace people world or disturbing peace world, not this kind of world. But in terms of the world, like our world, planet. So the moon people came originally from a distant planet. And because they had this intergalactic war problem from the neighbor, aggressive people, they just left that planet and went to the moon. So I just want you to know that it was a great race, not just came from a small little corner of a planet, but a planet by itself. That planet where the moon people came from was just like our planet with human-like beings who lived on it. But they are in a better level of consciousness, the fourth level. As I told you, the fourth level in terms of the 5 consciousnesses that from our earth to the 5th level, the 5th dimension of spiritual frequency. So they are on the 4th. That was about the people who are living inside the moon, and the people outside the moon are still on the 3rd level, but they are spiritually very strong, not like a human's achievement that practice and arrived at the 3rd level. It's a similar frequency, it's just different in terms of original quality. The moon people who live outside of the moon's surface are invisible to the human eye. They could live there. The 3rd level people on the moon's surface, they are different from the 3rd level humans, and they have more stability in their level of frequency. But the humans who reach the 3rd level could be very kind of wobbling. Sometimes they are in a higher status of the third level. Sometimes they go lower. It depends on the influence of the negativity around them on this earth. But on the moon, they don't have this kind of negative influence. So they're very stable and they keep going upward all the time. And with some masters, a blessing. They never waver. And they have more mental stability. Also, they have more emotional stability. And they also have more other powers like magical power, pure magical power, not like the astral magic. So they are different, a little different from the third level reached by humans, okay? They have more advantages to reach the higher level in the future, and they will. But the humans, sometimes they reach, like for example, the middle level of the third. Each level has the lower level, middle level, and high level. But the humans, though they can reach a third, middle, for example, by the grace of the master who they believe in and practice under him or her, but they could lose. They could lose it and they could go back to the lower third level or sometimes even slip down further by some of the very splitting vengeance ideas or jealousy or such negative turbulences within their minds. They could lose. They could go lower very fast. Going up is difficult. Going down is very fast. You see the planet where the inner moon people came from. It was a great planet, beautiful, similar to our planet right now. But the negative force was so strong. They bred themselves within the moon and then they gather all of their force from the neighbor planet and they came and they wanted to eat up and absorb the whole planet from the ex-moon people. First, the moon people had to flee, not because they are not stronger, but they don't like fighting. They don't like damaging the environment, the planet, and causing death of their people. So they just had to leave for peace sake. And then they could go to the moon because the moon inside at that time was empty. No man's land, so they could take over. And the negative force now is breeding and invading on our planet and within our planet, having the same intention like those who invaded the moon at that time. So if we are not fighting back with the vegan tools, then we're going to lose the world. Because these negative beings, negative entities, they don't have bodies. They will not be burned. So they can burn the whole planet and they still can live on it. They just want to take over and make humans become their true slaves. And if humans die, they also continue to be slaves to them. Like in hell, they do anything they want with humans. The humans will lose everything. All the rights, all the power, all the knowledge, and all the memories of where they came from. They could never get back to their original state, where they were, or about who they were in heavens before. And the humans on this planet are not as powerful as the beings now residing inside the sun. You see, they're at the fourth level, and they have all the power and magical ability of all kinds. They could manifest even weapons to go against the negative force who was invading their planet. They could disappear. Suppose we are even able to, this is very, very least likely, but suppose any of the humans can go inside the moon or inside the sun and want to take over their place or destroy them or enslave them or anything, we cannot. You will not see them. If they don't want you to see them, they can just disappear. So you don't see the physical beings, but they are in physical bodies. It's just that they like to be like that. It's just if they have to, if they're in danger, they will just disappear. Right now, we also need them. They're also taking care of our planet in a way. Of course, not to talk about the invisible or spiritual aspect. They give us warmth. Without the sun, I don't know if anything will grow or if humans could live long in a healthy state of mind and body. So we owe the sun a big debt, big debt. Not to talk about all the masters who live in the state of supreme enlightenment. They are blessing our planet. It's just that our karma is too heavy. We cover ourselves with it. So much of the blessing could not get through. That's why the humans don't feel the love of the masters, of Almighty God, of the Son of God, of the ultimate master, for example.